little bit relaxed is because Germany are the ones that are suffering, and we've suffered quite a lot at the hands of Germany over the years. So I'm
thinking it's giving them another goal to complain about, apart from Jeff Hurst. That's what I'm thinking at times. But you would, I mean, in all seriousness, you would. If you're Germany, you'd want to see the evidence. If the evidence is provided, and the evidence shows that it was in, then you could go okay. But until, you would understandably, you'd want to see the evidence.
Yeah, but the reality is you've got 3 games in a group game to be through.
Yeah.
Germany lost their first game against Japan. They had chances against Spain to win. You never want to put yourself in a position where something like that, even though you do the job on the day, keeps you out. So Germany should have done more in the group games they've had.
They've made a right mess of the group, haven't they, by obviously starting off with where they were at. I'm stunned at Spain. I mean, I can't believe that in that second half there, but well done to Japan.
And you're stunned at Spain, who were excellent in the first half. Then Japan went forward to the back and really changed it. But the equaliser, actually, for all the controversy about the winner, the goalkeeper's had a nightmare.
The big decision for Spain in the next game is whether they stick with their goalkeeper, because Simon, to be honest with you, he's not filling with confidence. He's the one part of the team that looks like a real weak point, and I have to say that it starts off badly. I think that sort of, we know they play out from the back, we know they take chances, we want them to continue to do this. It's how Spain have operated for years, so we're not trying to change that. But once this shot comes in, I mean,
it's the guy on the left hand side. This guy who was that?
I don't
think it's a mess of it.
Yeah, but they do that, Graham, don't they? They do that, but he's got to save that. I mean,
straight through him, Gary, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's no good that. I mean, you've got Raya on the bench, you've got Sanchez, De Gea's still at home, and I know that he's not been brilliant these last few years, but I can't think that he would have let that in. I mean, that's a real bad one. That in a knockout game, in a knockout game, that's fatal for you.
Morocco against Spain, Japan against Croatia. That's how it looks in the last 16. What an evening.
Germany won't.
Right, that's enough gloating. I think it's called Schadenfreude. Yes.
Yeah. No, listen, it's shaping up to be a great World Cup. I think it's been fantastic so far. And it's like any other World Cup. The further you go into it, the games get better, the players become more relaxed. Generally the big teams turn up when it really matters. But I was thinking of Germany when I started that sentence.
I mean, is there any such thing anymore in this tournament?
What's a
big nation. We've just seen 2 go out today, Belgium and Germany. So, if you're a sort of so-called smaller team in this tournament, you've got everything to play for. Go for it. There's been so many examples.
Yeah, absolutely. Just say Japan, Croatia have been fantastic in the last 6 years, but they're an ageing team, let's be honest, aren't they? And with the energy and the belief that Japan have shown, that's one game you look at and think, there's absolutely no certainty Croatia go through.
They'll fancy their chances, and when Spain get back into that dressing room, they'll probably work out that they've gone down a little bit of an easier side of the draw.
Yeah, that's the other thing we haven't mentioned. Yes.
And they'll be
not deliberately.
Not deliberately. No, I mean, they were trying to go for a goal at the end, and there's no way that they were sort of in control of that decision, and obviously the goalkeeper throwing him on in. But Spain will get back in there and think they've got a better chance of progressing to the semi-finals now than they actually did do before. And look, at this moment in time, I think you look at some of the African teams, the Asian teams, they fancy the chances in this World Cup.
Is this a Winter World Cup where mid-season, does this start to explain the strangeness, if we could put it that way, of some of the results? Or just the narrowing of the gap in international football?
I think it's more about the qualities of emerging nations. I think you've seen Japan tonight. I mean, they looked like an experienced footballing nation with a great pedigree. They were at it. They stuck together when the going got tough. I think you have to put the USA in the same category. They've been really good, and you look at them, and I watch them playing against England. I'm thinking that's a team with pedigree, not a team that's just sort of getting going in world football. And I think it's a closing of the gap. I really do.
And it's the exposure, isn't it, in the big leagues to all these players. You'll even look at Australia as well. The fact that they're playing in major leagues now.
Well, you made the point earlier, you look at USA, all those lads are playing in Europe. So the fear factor, the inferiority is gone. The Japanese, a lot of them are playing in Germany, in Spain. So that I think there's a psychology shift that's happening.
We don't tend to trust FIFA at all, do we? Obviously in our country, and for a good reason. But the reason they've moved the actual World Cup to 48 teams in a few years' time is to widen in participation, to give more African Asian teams to be able to do it. And in the Premier League, we see honours, we see all of it. Here we don't.